Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my 6,000 subscriber giveaway. So I've got everything ready now, and I think I'll just go through each individual thing and then we'll have a little bit of a chat about the giveaway. I do have one other thing here that is not part of the giveaway, but it's going into my shop, so I'm just going to tag this one onto the end of the giveaway. So going to pop that aside. As you guys know, if you've been following along, I have been creating this lovely orange slash sort of vintage toned journal, and now it's all complete. And I did mention to you guys that there was going to be not one, but there was going to be 3 giveaways coming. So my first giveaway is this beautiful journal. We'll have a little bit of a chat about that when I go through it. The second prize is going to be this kind of a mix pack here. And then the third prize is like a little bit of a smaller version of this. So we'll pop these aside and we'll go through prize number 1, which is this orange slash vintage toned journal, floral sort of a journal. Now with the beautiful flowers here, I did decide to leave them off. I also took a poll over on Instagram and it came out pretty even, and I thought maybe just to be safe that I would leave it off for the recipient. So I'm just going to include these 2 beautiful flowers. You can snip the wire off if you want, pop it on there. If you don't want it, you can pop it inside the journal. So there are these 2 little flowers that I'm just going to pop along like that. So we'll pop that aside and we'll go through this. I think I did chat to you guys a little bit about what it's made out of. So it is made out of this beautiful fabric that I did pick up from, it was a store in Brisbane, I keep forgetting the name of it. It's a soft cover journal, it's A5 size. The cover is larger than A5, obviously it has the A5 size papers. Inside here is a soft batting, and then on the back is a beautiful, very light brown, vintagey sort of colour lining. And then I have this tie. Now I kind of, I don't know that I've showed you guys what I do here, but I just tear a strip of fabric and I sort of just fold it and sew sort of crazy stitching, and it goes around like this and it just ties into a bow on the side. I did have to cut it a little bit shorter because I made it a bit long, but anyway, we'll get into it. It is a single signature as well. It is sewn in, and this book has 25 pages, so I believe that's 50 sides front and back, I think. But it got very chunky, so let's go into it. So the first page here, this is stuck down, and I've left this to be sort of, I don't know if I can find something to pop on. Hang on one second guys. Let me just see if I can grab an example here. So the intention for this page was to either sort of be somewhere to place a nice photograph. You could pop it sort of half under there like that and it could frame it nicely. You could use it as a pocket and pop whatever else you wanted in it. You use this little paper clip up there like that. So that's page number 1. That is all glued down, so I actually haven't done a lot of stitching on the actual paper. This tiny little piece of 6x6 paper here, I have got this scrappy embellishment that I've made here, and just pulled out there is this, gosh, what is it? I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's a card, but it's got some beautiful writing and a little picture of a vintage dog. So I just slip that under there. Once again, this is glued. All of my scrappy embellishments that I've done in here, I have glued around the edges, so they can be used as little sort of tucks and things like that if you wanted. So there's that one. Let me just see if I can pull you guys down a little bit more. I'll leave that one there. Let's blank on the page. What you'll notice in this journal, and what I do like to do in a lot of journals, is I like things to sort of flip up and flip out and things like that. That way it creates decoration, but it also leaves a lot of space to write and things like that. So that's what I've done here. We've got this beautiful sort of an orange floral paper that I've left blank. Here is this decoration, and what I've done once again is I've glued just down the sides here, and this here can actually, you can actually tuck something in there. Here is a pocket with a tag in it, so just like so. Little piece of vintage paper here. This is sort of like a vintage dividing card, index sort of a card that I decorated on here, so you can write on this little bit here. And then this here is a pocket, so you can add bits and pieces in there, and I really love doing this. I love these. It's just they're really fun to decorate up. Here we've got some more paper from that same paper collection and some of my handmade paper. So a couple of pieces of handmade paper here, and then I've just decorated this one up here with a little bit of a ruffle here, so you can just do what you want on these pages here. Plain piece of paper here. This here is half of an envelope which I decorated up. You guys saw me decorate this one up on camera, and then what I've done is I've just popped a couple little vintage photos, real vintage photos in here. So you'll notice a lot of the decorated ephemera will have the old photographs that I got online and reprinted, but the things that are in pockets and that, these photographs are completely authentic, just like this beautiful one here. So over here once again we've got this scrappy embellishment, and I've just tucked a vintage photo, this lovely piece of vintage ephemera here, and this here is one of my scanned postcards of the thatched cottages, and on the back it has a postcard there. So we'll just tuck that in there. Over here I've got this beautiful paper that I got out of a vintage bank book, so I just sort of made that flip out like that. It's just held on with some washi tape, but I did add some glue so it's not going to come loose. Couple of pieces of vintage lined paper here, vintage sign-on, sign-off attendance record. Now this here is the beautiful booklet that I've made, so you can just undo that. I think I double knotted it, so I can't really and I have no fingernails to get it. Bear with me guys while I try and get this. I don't know why I double knotted it for. Okay, here we go. So you open that up, and then this is a booklet with lots of space for you to write. That little bit there flips out. It's just a lot of fun. It's got a lot of layers, a lot of different papers, beautiful atlas, and it creates, I think, this nice layered look on sort of within your book here. So lots of layers there, and then the back is stuck down there, and you can see that the tie is on the back of there, so it gets tied up again, but I won't double knot it this time. So we will just flip that over. So this here, I didn't know if I wanted to create this into a pocket or not. It was kind of created out of a scrap. As you guys know, I quite like to just randomly grab scraps off my table, and they end up turning into embellishments or whatever they end up turning into. I don't really have specific things that I end up making. So this was a piece of a scrap, like it was torn, as you can see here, it's torn up like this, and I just stuck it onto this really fragile paper that I have here, and it acted like a flip, and then I decorated it up here with a tag, photo, die, lace, stamp, a little bit of book page, line paper, this beautiful coffee sort of stained paper here that I got in Happy Mail, and I didn't know if I wanted to turn this into a pocket so that it would be like this, or if I wanted to leave it as sort of a flip open part and you could do what you wanted, but I thought I'll just leave it, and If the recipient wants to turn it into a pocket, they can just add a little bit of glue there and it can become a pocket. But for now, it just flips open like so. So that's that one. More tea stain paper. This is that beautiful with a sort of really decorative edge here. This here sort of flips up like this. Here that just flips out like that. I thought it was a bit small maybe, but yeah, you could turn that into a tuck spot there if you want to just glue down the edges, but I just left it for now. This is some vintage ledger paper, and I've turned this one into a tuck spot here. I've added a little bit of a ruffle along here which matches the front cover. I do have those here and there throughout the journal. And then in here, just a few pieces, another postcard. There's one of these pockets which I found later on and wish I'd added in, so I just popped that in there. Over here we've got this embellishment piece that I decorated on camera as well. We've got a vintage photograph and a vintage sort of a travel piece that fell out of a vintage travel book. It's in a different language. French, I'm thinking. It says Nice, so it's really it's travelled halfway around the world, this little piece of paper. So I've popped that up in there for you to use however you want. More vintage lined paper, and then this is the middle of the signature. Sorry guys, I'll just move it up in here. I was just off camera a little bit. Now this houses my really oddly shaped booklet. And once again, my thought process was that it sits quite nicely, sort of layered looking in the middle of the book like this. I adore layers and things like that, so I thought that would be really nice. This bit here did rip a little bit. I think you could probably just pop a little bit of washi tape there. But otherwise, it just sits like so with a few bits of papers in the middle of the signature. There's more vintage paper. So this is backed onto some tea stain paper. Now, if I have the book, yes I do. I grabbed this book up in an antique shop, and it was like a bank book, and on the back it had some pages that you'll notice I actually popped a flip out of it. But it came in this envelope sort of pocket here. And I sort of sewed it together, and I've used it as a pocket. It's got this beautiful sort of red script here. I've just popped a check, photo, another building, sort of a piece of ephemera, and this sort of book page which has this awesome sort of advertising. It's so beautiful with its vintage staining there. That actually came from the front of my, like the table book that was there, so I'll just leave that there. So that's that lovely, beautiful pocket there. Straighten up a little bit for you. More ledger paper, this orange sort of paper. Over here we've got this sort of journaling card piece. I had the other side of that sticking out there, and I decided it wasn't going to work, so I just snipped it off, left that one like that. I've added some fabric so it can flip out, so you still have all of that room there. And this here is like a journaling card, so it's like a flip out journaling card, I guess. Just creates another area for you to write in. It's all decorated up. You could write up in here a title and write a little bit there. There's the front of that fabric again. Tea stain paper. This little bit here is like a flip out. I think I did this one on camera as well. Some lace. This here is Customs House Circular Quay in Brisbane. I believe that there is the Story Bridge in the background. Some dies. This is the butterfly die, and yeah, just a little bit of fun sort of elements there. So over here we've got some more orange paper with a scrappy embellishment, and I've just tucked a vintage photo under there. So you can take all these vintage photos out if you like. See where I popped that up there. There is the other side of that attendance record, vintage paper, more scrappy embellishments with postcard, and another beautiful photograph here. Oop, where did we go to? Here we are. It's pop that up in there. This is craft paper. This here is ledger paper with a pocket, so it's like that. You can tuck little bits and pieces away in there. This is orange fabric. It was torn, so it came down in kind of like a V shape, and I thought it was really nice to create into a ruffle. So it created a uneven sort of a ruffle. Over here, this bit here just flips up for some decoration. Once again, it leaves the entire page plain for you, but it just adds that bit of decoration there, which I really like. Here we've got the other side of the handmade paper. I've just done the same with the ruffle here. And then over here, this was a piece that I created off camera actually, and it's a pocket. It houses a tag, a little photograph and a postcard, so that is what it looks like. So you can pop whatever you like in there. It's got staples, lots of different elements on this one, so I'll just pop this one back away. Lift that up a little bit. Craft paper. Over here is this flip out pocket piece, and I've used fabric once again, so and I've just popped a plain tag in there so that comes out. So I kind of like the way that the plain tag, the bigger plain tag, looked with the little one, so it's like that, and it's just decorated up. That's actually, I think I told you guys, it's like a, what do you call that when you make a die and that's the leftover impression, but that acts as a frame, and lots of bits and pieces. Here once again, one of these little side embellishments, but I thought acts as a nice tuck spot, so I've just glued around there. Pea stain paper. This is a little bit of the orange paper. I folded it unevenly, so I had more on one side and less on the other, so I just popped a bit of a ruffle, lovely ruffle piece there, so it's quite nice texture. And on the back we've got this little writing piece, so you can just write if you want. It's all decorated up for you to just go ahead and do what you want. If you want to write around there, you can. And yeah, that's it, you guys. That's it for the first prize for the giveaway. And I really hope that you'll like it, whoever receives it. And if you do not want to go into the drawing, if you're not a fan of this journal, it's not to everyone's taste, you know, please write that you don't want to go into the drawing for it, so that I'm not giving it away to somebody who doesn't particularly want it. So we'll just tie that one back up, and we will move on to the second and third prize. Alright guys, so this here is prize number 2, and I'm not too sure what I'm calling it. It's just a little mixed bag of goodies, and it's done up in this clear plastic bag with a little bow. So I'm going to open this up and we'll go through all the little bits that I've thrown in here. It's kind of like a junk journal sort of a pack. Just with little bits here and there. So let's open this one up, pull everything out, see what you get. Gonna close this one back up so we can reuse it over here. Okay, so the first thing you'll get in this little pack here, I've just made, oh goodness, is that, yeah, I've just made this little sample sort of a, I'm not too sure what you call it, but it's sewn up here, and there are sheets of vintage wallpaper and little bits of lace. So there's this one, this mint green one, this lovely sort of trim with the, oh, it's got a flower I think on it. This one here, and this one here is actually folded over, so it's really wide. And then you've got, I've just added a little paper clip here to hold it down, but you have got this vintage wallpaper here, my blue one, this sort of gold floral one, my yellow sort of flower one, if you guys remember that one, and another sort of yellow and green flower one, and I've popped it, let me just take this off, actually might be easier, that way you guys can see a little bit better. I'll just go through them like this so you can pull these off, tear them off, use them in embellishments and snippets and things like that. There's the gold one, there's the yellow one, and this one here. And then what I've done is I sort of just grabbed a piece of card and I decoupaged on it with a napkin. So actually the card is like that, but it's pretty there. So that is the first sort of piece. Let me just, I'm not sure what I did. I think I popped a paper clip here. Yeah. And then, oh sorry, there is this sort of loose little lace flower here. So that's the first little piece that you'll find in the pack. And then in here what I've done is I've made a little vellum pouch, I guess you will call it, and it has birds, butterflies and botanicals in it. So I'm trying to think how many pieces I popped in each, but I'm sorry I can't remember, but there's a little mixture of goodies in there for you to have fun with. Just cut the top off, then maybe you can reuse that as a vellum pocket. We've got some vintage photographs here for you to use, so really beautiful ones. We've got this one here. We've got this lovely, lovely lady here. She looks like a nurse. This one here, hope that's not glaring too much. This sweet little girl outside her house in dress. And this photograph here, which has these really cool edges on it. So 5 vintage photographs. And then we've got this little packet here, which has got a mixture of things in it as well. It's done in a little vellum pouch, just so I can keep the smaller bits contained. So there are these little flowers. I don't know if you guys have seen these before in my video. There are stamps. There are vellum stickers and a little sort of a botanical note card at the back. So that's in that little vellum pouch. And then we've got 2 vintage tickets here, like tram sort of tickets. I think they are. So they're awesome. So there's those. We've got some book pages. So this one comes out of, let me just have a look, you guys. It's one of my favourite books, actually. It's this one. It's The Language of Flowers. So it's like this. So you've got that to add into your journals. There is a couple of Edith Holden little pockets, a couple of Edith Holden tags, and a little Edith Holden envelope. Then we've got this lovely postcard with a fairy on it. Who's this by? Somebody did say, I'm not sure who the artist was. The Traveller's Joy Fairy from Flower Fairies of Summer 1925. So it's a postcard with this lovely fairy. Then there is this postcard which came out of my vintage sort of Russian postcard book. And this says, it's a park somewhere in Russia, but I thought it was really beautiful with its lake. So there is that one. We've got this sort of Brisbane Permanent Building and Banking Co. Limited. Is it a check? I think it's a check. But it's blue, it's a lovely shade of blue. And then this one, which is the Commonwealth Trading Bank of Australia. We still have the Commonwealth Bank here. I mean, I'm not sure, it's 19 something, so it's pretty old. We've got a sort of a score sheet here, and we've got a bird book page, so you can cut these birds out. Got a couple pieces of that beautiful vintage grid paper that I've been playing around with a lot, which I grabbed in the Netherlands. This one, once again, I think I showed you, it came out of this very old bank book, which is it's from the 1950s. So this one is just like that. It's completely plain. It's got some beautiful patina on it. This is the table sort of a book page, so you can have fun with all these different book pages. Shorthand. This awesome Russian book page, which I love using, so there's a couple of those actually. And this German book page, which is from the early 1900s, so I've left it open like that. And then you've got 3 sheets of handmade paper, so you can play around with that. So that is prize number 2, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Once again, if you're not interested, please please comment, I'm not interested in this prize or something, and I'll be sure not to draw your name for 2nd or 3rd or 1st or whatever sort of prizes. So I'll just sort of loosely pop these back together, you guys. I'm not sure how many pieces are in this one, but enough to have a little bit of fun with in your journals anyway. It's always interesting, I think, to get other people's things, because they're always different to what you've got. So I'm just going to leave that with this, and I'll repacket it nicely later on. And then we're going to go through the little mini 3rd prize. It's basically the same as that, but much smaller, condensed down. So I don't know that I'll open it because, yeah. In the back here we've got that vintage check. Then we have got the exact same sampler pack with the wallpapers and the lace. And then we have 2 vintage photos here at the back. We've got 2 Edith Holden tags, 2 Edith Holden pockets, and we've got a little vellum pouch here which has butterflies and like vellum stickers and stamps in it. So that is your 3rd prize. So I won't unpack it because it's not huge, and yeah, you guys saw some of the stuff that's in there anyway. So I think that'll do it for all the prizes, and then I'll just have a quick chat to you about this journal. This one here is going to go in my shop. So yeah, it's a little bit different from the giveaway, but I thought I'll just tap it on to the end of this one. So what I've done is I've left this journal completely plain, and I've never actually done that before, but what it's got in it, it's exactly the same as the first journal. It's just blank, and it has more pages in it, so it's got 35 pages in it. I thought I'd make a second one because I had all the sort of stuff out anyway, so yeah. So it's pretty much the same. I think it's got maybe a couple of different types of paper in it. So 30 pages, 60 sides of front and back. So, excuse me guys, I think I'm going to sneeze. Nope, it's all good. The only difference is this paper here, which I've used. So this vintage lined paper, tea stained paper, craft paper, handmade paper. So everything is completely blank. Vintage lined paper. The first one of that is so cool because it's so patinaed and it's got some lines on it. So like that. Vintage graph paper, vintage ledger paper. There's some Russian book page there. More tea stain paper, more scrapbooking paper. Vintage sign on and sign off attendance record. Craft paper. A vintage gardening book page. It's lovely orange scrapbooking paper again. I think it's like the the biggest piece of scrapbooking paper that I've used. And yeah, it sort of just repeats, so I'll just flip through it for you guys. Oh, I did add one of these Rediform pages in here. So you are free to completely decorate this book how you want. I think that's a nice idea because sometimes people want to make their own stuff. This flips out, but if you want to make it into a pocket you can. And this is the middle of the signature, so I've sort of just added tea stain paper, book page, handmade paper, and then some scrapbooking paper. So it's like a little mini booklet on the inside, and yeah, then we just repeat through the whole thing. So lots of writing room to, you know, if you don't want to create embellishments, you can just write in this one, and you can use the separate packs to decorate up other things if you want. So it just repeats through. So yeah, 30 pages in this one. And some of, especially this graph paper, it's super smooth. It's really nice. A lot of fun sort of mixture. I love this actually. It's such a beautiful piece of scrapbooking paper, and it's got a bit of a sheen to it. I don't know if you can see. So craft paper, once again, just like that. So that is the plain journal that's going to be going into my shop. Just wrap it like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same. I didn't put a flower on it, but I've included the flower in this sort of separate kit that goes along with it. So we'll go through and we'll have a look very quickly at all the things here. This one's sealed up, so I might not open it, but what you've got in this separate pack here is sort of laces and fabrics. So here there's quite a, I hope that's focusing, is quite a large amount of that beautiful orange fabric for you to be able to make ruffles or just snippets and things like that. Then there is the matching piece of the inside cover and the tie, so it's all going to match in nicely. It's like a really light brown colour. And then we've got some of that beautiful sort of curtain netting that I've been using for ruffles and things like that, so you can use that how you want. And then over here you've got bits of lace, like different bits of lace and tidbits that you can decorate up. So that's what comes in this little pack here along with the blank journal. And then over here is all your bits and pieces that you can decorate up. So we'll just pull all that out. So I've kept things separately so they don't go everywhere. So in this little pack here you've got little dies or stamped pieces or stamps, little frames and things, just little tidbits, I guess you could call it, so that you could decorate up and embellish little bits and pieces. You've got these flowers. I've just folded over the ends so that it doesn't poke through the plastic. So I included both of those flowers for you to be able to decorate up however you want. This one here, I'll open this one up. So here, just a little mixture of items that you can play around with. These little envelopes that I die cut out, tiny little bits of tickets that are fun to use in your embellishments, so like that, like stamped and die cut pieces, just lots of stamped images here, all in the orangey sort of matched tones, so just lots and lots of stamped images that you can play around with to make embellishments and things. And then a bunch of the photos that I reprinted, so you can have fun with all these different photos. Some might look like that with the writing on it. Yeah, just a bunch of fun little photos to decorate up. So there's a bunch of stuff in that little pouch there. We'll just pop it over here. Here we've got some dies as well, and these are the wildflower dies, and I cut these out for you. So they're made out of a sort of the exact same paper pad that I've been using, so lots of little wildflower dies that you can add to your embellishment pieces and things like that. Really lovely. I'm really enjoying using these lately. And then here we've got a variety of things, so just pieces of paper. Like I said, I like scraps and things, so this is kind of a torn off piece of vintage lined paper, vintage dictionary pages, these little brown sort of craft bags that you can decorate up, a couple of larger tags, so there's 3 in there, and we've got 5 of these small ones, like I tear off the tops and things. This very vintage piece of paper here, Building check, you guys have seen so much of. More checks. I included a lot of these book pages that I grab out the front of books that tend to have writing and things on them. Hope you can see that okay. Because I love to use things like this in my journal, so you could decorate up like a piece here and leave that beautiful script, or you don't have to at all. A tiny sort of offcut of ledger. There's some more of that scrap of that beautiful paper, and it's got like an ink blotch off it. Some of that lovely graph paper. I've put one with writing, one without. This is a front of another book. It's got all those markings on it, which I adore, those little splotches. So this is from a French book, like that. Vintage atlas. Once again, the front of a book with some beautiful script on it. Some Russian book page for you to have fun with. Vintage lined paper. So all this can be used to sort of tear apart and make your own embellishments. Actually, there's more Russian book page. This is the German one as well. Vintage divider card. A couple of the table book pages. This is that really fragile paper. It's so sort of wafer thin and patinaed. So there's that. And this one I grabbed out the front too. Look. I left it attached to that, but look at this awesome mark here. So you've got two sort of pages there, and the lined piece, and then this one here is like an exercise, sort of a school book piece. So that's everything that will come in with the plain journal that you can find over in my shop. I think it'll be up either tonight or tomorrow, one or the other, depending how long this video takes me to edit and upload, which it might take me half a century to do. It has been lately. This might be up tonight or tomorrow. So if you're interested in this just plain journal with all these goodies, you can pop over and have a look at that. Lots of pieces for you to play around with here though. So I'll gather this all up, sort of keep it together, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat about the giveaway. So where did I keep that? Oh, there we go. I'll bundle that up nicely for the listing anyway. So there's that plain journal and journaling kit. So I'm going to pop that aside, and yeah, we'll now have a chat about the giveaway. Alrighty guys, so that's it for everything that I've shown you. First prize, second prize and third prize for the giveaway. So we'll just have a chat about the terms and everything like that. So this giveaway is going to be open until the 27th of October, which is just over a week. I think it's about 9 days. I'm going to leave this open, and when it's closed I'll just write closed next to the video. So that's how long it's going to be open for, about 9 days. The first term for the giveaway is number 1, you must be a subscriber of mine. Number 2, I would like you to leave a comment saying that you want to participate in this giveaway. If you leave me a comment that says like, great video, love your stuff, something like that, I can't include that in a giveaway, so you need to actually please say, please enter me in the giveaway. Now if there is something here that you don't want, please state. I would like to be in the giveaway, but please don't enter me in the journal or prize number 2 or prize number 3. Something like that. If you just say enter me in the giveaway, I'll enter you in all 3. So that's that. And the third term is please be contactable when I do the drawing. I'll give you my email address, and I would like for you to contact me, and I'll give 2 to 3 days to be contacted with your details, and if I don't hear, then I'll have to redraw. So those are just my 3 terms. Just comment, please enter me in the giveaway, or please enter me in ABC. And yeah, I think that's it, you guys. Let me just check. Yeah, that's it. But anyway, I hope that you guys like everything that I have created here for you. It's just a way for me to say how much I appreciate being part of this community and how much I appreciate every single one of you, and I mean every single one of you. I appreciate you taking the time out. It's, you know, if that's 20, 30 or 60 minutes out of your time that you have taken to watch one of my videos. And I appreciate you doing that so much, and I really, really, really hope that you will enjoy the prizes here. And yeah, just a big, big thank you, whether you're old or you're new or you're somewhere in between, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. Yeah, it really means the world to me, and I hope that you guys know that. But yeah, I love all of you, each and every one of you, so thank you so, so much for being part of my channel. And yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. I'm going to take a few days off. I'm going to prepare for Christmas. Are any of you guys ready for Christmas? I think that I am never ready for Christmas. They always seem to start it so early. I mean, here I think it used to start after Halloween, and now they've brought it before Halloween, so they're actually putting out Halloween and Christmas stuff at the same time. And I'm never ready for it. I'm never ready for Christmas. And then I've got to go to my kids, right, what do you guys want for Christmas? Because normally, being teenagers, a lot of the stuff that they want is online. And I've got to get that ordered so that it can be sent before Christmas time and things like that. So yeah, I've got to get prepared, you guys. It's sneaking up on us all, I think. I think it does that every year, but anyway, you guys, I hope that you are having a wonderful, wonderful day. Please take care, and I'm going to talk to you soon. Bye, guys.